Hi everybody, it's Harv Eker here. You know, a recent article came out that showed 75% have a fear of public speaking and presentation. And that some people are actually more fearful, more worried about speaking in public than dying. I know it's crazy, it's a little extreme, but the research actually shows that. So today, I'm going to give you how many? 5 specific tips as to how to overcome the fear of speaking and talking in public and do so with confidence. If you're ready, here we go. All right, number 1. Stop focusing on yourself. Now, the only reason that you would have a fear about speaking to people in public or a group or whatever is because you are what? Thinking about yourself. You're thinking about, oh my God, how am I going to do? Are they going to like me? Does my hair look good? What if I fumble? What if I screw up? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What's the common word here in all of this? Here it is. I. The minute you say I, you're going to start worrying about yourself, which brings up the fear. What do you do instead? You simply focus instead on yourself. You focus on your audience. You focus on them. You focus on why you are there. The fact that you are there to help them learn and grow or present this information or whatever you're doing. You focus on them instead of you. That is the number one way. Like, I used to be petrified of getting on a stage. I was the kind of person that never even wanted to put my hand up in school. When the teacher came by, I would throw my pencil down, as many of you did, and go try to pick it up so she wouldn't see me. Of course, she always caught me, but I remember, I'm not kidding you, in grade 3, I actually missed the morning. I told my mother I was sick so that I wouldn't have to present the show and tell stuff. Right? And here I am training. What people got? How can you train in front of 10,000 people? I say, I don't care if it's 5 people or 5,000 people, because I'm not thinking about me. When I go out there, I'm thinking about one thing. Who can I help? How can I help some people? What can I say that can impact their lives and help them from my experience? That's all I'm thinking about. So if you turn your attention from yourself, how do I look? How do I sound? Am I going to do this right? Are people going to like me? To how can I help these people? Everything will change, I promise. Step number 2, are you ready? Here it is. Speak about something you're passionate about, something that you know about. Don't try to fake it. Don't try to talk about things that you just read in a book, because you don't know that. And what's the best way to do that? It's got to be a topic that's near and dear to you. And people, you know what? People are very, very smart. They have an inner sense, a resonance, a vibration. And your vibration matches their vibration, or it doesn't, right? And so they'll know if you're enthusiastic and if it's real. They'll know if you're passionate about something. So you've got to find something and talk about and teach about something that you are passionate about, something that resonates with you, something that you would normally just want to help people with in any way you could, anytime, just in a conversation if you could, all right? So that's critical. And you got to know about it. And the way you know about it mostly is it had an impact on your life. So if you're the skinny mini, and you always were, then talking about how to lose weight, well, what do? You never lost weight. You didn't have to. So what's the big deal? Et cetera, et cetera. On the other hand, if you were 50 pounds overweight and you were, embarrassed and you were always tired and had low energy and it was really hampering your life, and you were able to find a methodology and a strategy that really worked for you and helped you lose the weight and keep it off, you know what? It's your duty to share that with people. Just talk about yourself. This is what happened for me. And be honest and be real, okay? Now, number 3, practice. Practice. Get some experience. Just practice. And the simplest way to do it is go to your biggest critic. Who's that? You! Go to the mirror! Go to the mirror and practice. I remember one of my mentors in this arena, he was staying over at my house when I was in California, and he was going to do a presentation that was pretty new to him, but he knew the topic very, very well. But he just hadn't presented it like this before. And I remember going downstairs where he was staying, and he had the flip charts up all over the room, and he was doing his full presentation, you know, with the flip charts in the mirror, pointing here, going here, doing a step back, and okay, I think I need to slow that down. So practice in front of the mirror. Number 4, test your material in the real world before you go out there in front of thousands. Do you know how many people were in my very first seminar? The number is 8. 8 people on my living room couch. And the only way they would come is if my wife promised to make them this fabulous lunch. And you know what? All they cared about was what was for lunch, but it didn't matter. I had 8 human beings that I was testing the material out and seeing what worked and what didn't work. And to this day, I want to tell you that I consistently enhance and try to improve the presentation in my courses every single time out. People are always asking me, what are all those notes in your binder? Every time I come out on stage for a 3-day program, the binder is clean. And every time I leave after 3 days, it's full of pencil marks and post-it notes and everything. Why? Okay, so everyone, you have 2 minutes to share. Share with your partner XYZ, blah, blah, blah. And then I notice after 2 minutes, I'm about to say stop, and people haven't gotten halfway, and I'm going, oh my God, that's too short. I need to change it to 3 minutes or 4 minutes each partner. So I make those adjustments, but you gotta understand, you gotta do that in front of live people and test it out in front of live people. But a small group is great and even better. Here's the last tip I wanna give you. You don't need to memorize your whole talk. In fact, the more you memorize it, the worse you're gonna do, because now it's all about you again, right? Am I gonna remember this, et cetera, et cetera. It's not about that. You do need to prepare, but there is one part of your talk or presentation or whatever you're doing that you need to memorize, and that is your introduction. That is your first 2 or 3 or 4 minutes. You've got to have that locked down in your memory. You got to have it word for word for word, so you're not all fumbling around, wondering where you are, et cetera, et cetera. Why is that? Here's a question. When are you the most nervous? Duh! In the first couple of minutes, right? You're like brand new, your mind's freaking out, right? So you're most nervous, if you haven't done this once before, in the first couple of minutes. But if you know your stuff, you won't be nervous. You've done it 100 times in front of the mirror, in front of people. You've got it word for word. You can say it while you're eating, like you're doing anything, okay? You've got it memorized. Now, here's the second question. When is the audience the most nervous? When are they most like, oh, did I do the right thing by being here? Is this person gonna be any good? Is this gonna be worth my time? The first few minutes, right? That's why you've got to lock it down. And this is the biggest critical thing I teach in our Train the Trainer program. And when people do this, they are so much more what? Guess what the word is? It starts with a C, O, what? N, F. You got confident, because they've rolled through the first few minutes perfectly, elegantly, incredibly. They've got to lock down every move, everything. And now, right, momentum takes over. A body in motion will tend to remain in motion. Whatever you're doing, you did in the first, you get a good start, you're gonna have a good middle, you're gonna have a great end, because you're gonna be comfortable, yes or yes. So those are 5 critical steps, tips to releasing and not having any fear of presentation or fear of public speaking. Hope you enjoyed this video.